Let's talk some basketball, shall we? It's 7 straight and 41 for the season. That's where Russell Westbrook's triple-double count stands. Westbrook can break Big O's record for triple-doubles tonight. Got us thinking about some of the best individual seasons in NBA history. Let's run through a couple of them. Of course, it starts with the Big O, and that season averaging almost 31 points per game. Did not win the MVP that year. That will come into play later on in our conversation. Of course, then it goes to Wilt Chamberlain. I mean, guys, averages 50 points. And let's not forget the nearly 26 rebounds he averaged back in that 61-62 season. Also did not win the MVP. That was Bill Russell. Magic Johnson, I mean, look at that sweet stat line. When you're averaging almost 10 assists per game, along with almost 10 rebounds, he did not win the MVP that year either. We continue on to his airness, Michael Jordan. Well, Magic won the MVP that year. That Michael Jordan averaged nearly 33 points per game, 8 assists, 8 rebounds. And, of course, then it brings us to Russell Westbrook and what he's doing this season and averaging a triple-double. Okay, so, Rohan, where would you put Westbrook's accomplishments among all these other phenomenal individual seasons?
So those are obviously all great seasons. I think, kind of judging them by the era everyone was playing in, I have to put Russ number 2 to MJ. I think what MJ did, not only offensively that season, but on the defensive end, he was just a menace early in his career, throughout his career really, but a great defender. Russ hasn't necessarily been that throughout this whole season, but, comparing him to Oscar Robertson, when the Big O played, he was playing a lot more minutes than Russ. The pace of the game was a lot different then. I mean, you could make an argument about Russell's usage rate, which is ridiculously high, but I just think, comparing all these seasons, what he's doing, considering his teammates, everything, Durant leaving, I put it as kind of maybe top 3, top 2 individual season of all time.
All right, Rohan, what needs to happen or what could happen for Harden or Westbrook to lock it up going forward?
That's such a tough question. I mean, it seems like every day, every hour, there's another reason to pick the other guy, right? I think if Russ really just, if he has another 50-point triple-double or something like that, I do think there's going to be some recency bias in this vote, ultimately. It's going to be so hard for voters to decide between the two of them. Russ's last week or so has been so incredible that I think the push is for him as MVP again. So I think if he, finishes out the seasons with triple-doubles in almost every game, if he shatters Oscar Robertson's record, then I think that he has a very good chance.
So here, I did a little digging, Maggie.
Okay.
And I'm prone to doing this and being a nerd with stats. So there's been 63 MVPs all time. 60 of them have been in the top 3 in terms of seeding in their respective conferences. So Westbrook...
It matters.
It does matter.
Yep.
And whether or not you think it does, you look at the stats, it's almost impossible to think Westbrook's going to win this award then, even if you believe he should, because Harden is going to end up 3rd in the conference in terms of Houston. Westbrook's going to, at best, be 5 with Oklahoma City, which means James Harden.
It's definitely, again, and I think a lot of voters will use that reasoning. Ultimately, they'll say, Harden led the Rockets to a better record. One thing that I think works for Russ is, when Oscar Robertson posted his triple-double, the league was still in such a young place. I mean, for all people knew then it was going to happen all the time. And I think you see now, you realize how rare of an accomplishment this is. I have gone back and forth on this personally so many times this season, but just seeing what's out there right now, I think people are so enamored with what he's doing and this accomplishment, the enormity of it, that I think he's going to win.